right. What is up? Welcome back to your host, Rico from Rico's Aquariums. How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you all enjoying this Friday. I know I am. I'm sitting here on a Friday with you all. This is Aquarium Talk and everything in between, episode 35, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So we are going to talk about today corals for beginners and beginners reef tank. So corals for beginners reef tank. I thought that was a good topic. And getting into some of the beginning corals and all that. So yeah, hello everyone. Gaming Cam and Asa, what's up, my man? So I got some stuff down I wanted to kind of share and also just kind of, talk about and, what would some corals of beginner corals would consist of. And we have, hey, there you go. You guys are getting notifies, I guess. The notification is somewhat working. All right. So we have different corals. And because we got different corals that provide different things and have different requirements, let's just say, different requirements. And what are some of those requirements? What corals are hardy? What corals are whatever? What corals are more tolerant to maybe some fluctuations or not fluctuations? Dictation didn't make sense. Sorry, it's all good. It's all good. And we're talking about like SPS, LPS, and basically for beginners that are coming in here, when you hear somebody say SPS or LPS, it's just small polyp stony would be your SPS, and LPS would be your large polyp stony coral. And then your softies and fans and NPS, non-photosynthetic corals. You'll hear people say NPS tank a lot. So just for beginners, just to kind of some of those stereotypes out there up. Hey, what's going on, Naked Dog? Hello, Tom. What's going on? So these are some of the things that one may want to consider. Getting into a new tank or getting into this hobby. What are their feeding habits? What is their aggression? So you have corals that can be certain types of, do they move, or whatever the case may be. Now, these are things that you have to consider. And you also, what's their aggression level? Do they send out long sweeper tentacles and sting nearby corals? So these are all things that you have to understand. For me to help you understand is just simply having a discussion today about those things. And to get into what maybe we can get into that, and some people get into that. And when I say corals, I mean understanding like fish. What corals can you have together? I see Tom says, I think a chalice garden will be perfect for a beginner. They can handle all parameters. I do too. Now, Fan will say some chalice. Well, what would kill a chalice? Let me ask that question in this chat. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is just because Tom said that, which is beautiful, by the way. But what can kill a chalice? And I mean that, for real. So Well, as Stan would put it, I'm listening. I'm looking. I'm looking. And you can ask Stan that question too, from Tidal Gardens. What he would say is another chalice, because it's some things want to play nice, some don't. Tom says mushrooms can kill them. So there's things, and I'm I was being serious. That's what Dan would say too. But I want you guys to understand. People are saying torch, galaxia, mushrooms. Okay, so once again, what corals are great for beginners? It's really up to you too. It's like, what are you trying to achieve? Have you thought about it? Have you looked into it? It's like keeping a bunch of fish. I would tell you to do your research, because not all fish can be kept together. Okay. You need to have space. Space will definitely, anemones. Yeah. Chalice won't kill another chalice. Mine stay touching. And here's the thing: just because it stays touching doesn't mean it won't. It won't. At all. There are certain anemones can be, an enemy is an enemy, but an enemy can't kill another enemy. Fans had chalice kill each other. Just because one doesn't mean that it can't be done. Or it won't be done. I've had chalice touching one another. I haven't experienced that. That doesn't mean that it wouldn't be done or can't be done or somebody else didn't experience that. It's just that, hey, I mean, you can grow up with your brothers. You're all from the same seed, and you can kill each other as well. The likelihood of you doing that are probably 7 to none. And how often does that happen? I know that's a crazy way to think about stuff, but something to think about. But yeah, not saying whatever, but it is what it is. But an outsider is more likely to do that than within your own, right? Can we agree on that, everybody? So depends on the challenge. Stunner. I was gonna go there. I am not going there. Hollywood Stunner is considered a chalice. Hollywood Stunner will kill all kinds of stuff around it. So most people don't have Hollywood Stunners with their chalice. I don't even know if a lot of people consider a Hollywood Stunner to even be in the same realm of with the other chalice. But my point is, yes, it does happen. And that was not me like Tom's my dude, but just I want people. So when Tom made the comment, all I'm saying is Tom had his opinion and I had mine. Tom's based on because Tom has a bunch of chalices in his aquarium and he's never experienced that. So I want people to understand that a lot of us don't experience the same thing. Me and Fan does that exact same thing all the time. We don't experience some of the things that he says, and I look at him, and I if I didn't know him, I'd be like, for real, like, yeah, this dude's out of his mind. But I know him, so I know, even though I'm still caught off guard with sometimes. But the thing is, it just because it hasn't happened for you, that doesn't mean that it does not happen. And Hollywood Stunner chalices, they grow fast. They very aggressive. And if you guys didn't see, I showed. I was on a CJ. I had a big plate, and then I had one down at with CJ from CJ's Aquarium that was like this. I did in the video. They're very aggressive, but most people, and once again, though, I have to say this because when people talk about chalice, I don't even think they put the Hollywood Stunner chalice in the same category. That's just me. They don't even think about that chalice, but it can happen. Is all I'm saying. And also, don't turn like so. Tom made a statement, but me and Tom, we talk, so I know where he comes from and whatever, right? Woo. At the end of the day, just that I want people to understand that it's okay to have an opinion and whatever, but I don't want you guys to think that it's okay to argue about it, because we are talking about saltwater here. We're talking about aquariums. Hey, I don't care how long you've been doing it. At the end of the day, what you think won't happen, more than likely is going to happen at some point. And it's not worth arguing about. It's like, wow, okay, crazy. And it's not even really a agree to disagree topic. It's just like, just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it ain't going to happen, or that's not true. And when it is, but it's said in a way that, it hasn't happened for you. So I guess for people that are going to listen to this, keep an open mind, I guess, and understand that, okay, so it does happen, but the chances of it are probably unlikely to happen. It can happen, say, well, we know about how they feel about Hollywood stunner Chalice. Okay. So that's off the list. Okay. I almost consider that the trash can of Chalices. Okay. Just like green slimers. They just grow fast, they go rapid, they just whatever. But understand that you can keep a bunch together, and the likelihood of it happening is really, really, really low. You get what I'm saying? Makes sense to everybody. Most chalices get their color from morphing, just like zoas, But the topic here today is, for beginners. We got to talk about the corals for beginners, reef tanks. All right. So obviously we talking about some chalices and stuff, but what are, when it comes for beginners, what corals should beginners be looking for, maybe what they should be considering? Do they want a mixed tank? Do they want all mushroom tank, all softy tank, all chalice tank, all SPS tank? Do they want a diversity of all of it? Okay. So these are the things that this is the topic in the talk that we're trying to, for you guys that are new, that's maybe considering what to do, because a lot of we all really choose, we get into this hobby because of the coral, and because of the beautifulness of the coral. Of the coral. So, it's like having, we kind of have to have somewhere for a beginner guide for corals for people. In it, Rico, but I think not such thing, a beginner tank. I don't know what that meant. Beginner corals, I meant. Oh, beginner corals, I meant. Suck at softies. Now, here's okay. So, okay, here. So I want to make sure we all stay on the same topic. All right, let me clear this up real quick. I guess, because I'm not going to get into debate on SPS or softies, because what might be one's beginner coral might not be for somebody else. So let me help everybody out, because this, I need people to understand something. When it comes to this hobby is based on you. Who you are as an individual is an exact representation of your aquarium. So That's all I got to say. So listen real close, everybody that's gonna watch this and everybody in here, because stuff goes left really quick for people, or for people, period, or can be taken to the left. What I'm trying to say is your tank is an exact representation of you. If you're neat, cleany, and all this other stuff, guess what? Your tank is probably gonna starve for nutrition. If you're kind of sloppy a little bit, just a little bit, but you do like a tidiness, you probably gonna have a balance of good husbandry, nutrients in your plant. If you just a sloppy, nasty, butt cheesing, juicy ham person, then your aquarium is gonna look as such. And those are the animals that you can keep. So once again, let me help you understand. SPS aquariums, more than likely, is going to be for a more nice, tidy household person. If you nice and tidy, but you're not worried about a sock laying in the living room floor, I'm going to be honest with you. So if that's the case, guess what? You're going to have a perfect mixed reef. Now, if you over here, jelly-filled donut, don't do nothing, living in your mama's basement type stuff, well, your aquarium is going to be represented just like that. Hair algae and red mushrooms all over the place. Okay. So did I clear that up for everybody? Okay. Now moving on to my thing. Because I could see like it could go left real quick just by what I was seeing. I'm like, hold on, let me just, because this hobby will have you in your feelings real quick, or making you feel like somebody's wrong or somebody's right. And I'm not doing that. This is 2021. I refuse to do that, but I want to help people understand how I look at it. And just because I look at it that way, don't mean nobody else can look at it that way. Now, you don't have to agree or anything like that. But you are an exact representation of your aquarium. I don't know what else I can say or how to put it. So I apologize if I offend anybody. You might, if you feel offended by it, then you might just want to step up your game. You know what I mean? So when that comes to for beginners and corals, let me help you understand this. For beginners, that doesn't mean that you can't start off with an SPS tank, because you probably the more of a perfect candidate starting with an SPS tank will be right up your alley, and you probably can't grow nothing else but SPS. If you don't care about the sock laying in the middle of your floor, then let me help you with that. You probably can have a mix of both worlds and do just great. Okay. And if you know you lazy and you eating a baker dozen every day and don't do nothing, living at home with your mama's basement, then I guess you know what it is. And I apologize, but it's 2021 and I do keep it real. Then you probably gonna have a tank that you're gonna want to kick it over. You constantly got to ask questions. Why is this? Why is that? You don't want to move too much. You don't want to do your water change. You wonder why you got bubble algae out the wazoo. You got all this algae growing. You got some mushrooms of all different sorts growing all over the place. Mainly the red ones, because they very evasive. They just take over everything. That's a beginner mistake, coral, right there. Did I say that? Even though this ain't the right topic for it, but just say it. I'm just trying to help y'all out understand what I'm trying to say. So what somebody else is beginning might not be your beginning. So I think, you know what? I'm glad we had this conversation, because once again here, this is really just some real stuff and some real insight, because people say SPS, that's for more advanced hobbyists. But is it in reality? I don't think so. There's so many people that can come out the gate that can't even keep a mushroom, but they can keep a stick, or they can keep a stick. Can't keep a stick, but can keep mushrooms. Well, you ain't looked at yourself. You didn't understand who you are as a person, and you wonder why you can't keep certain things. Not everybody in the world deserves to have a cat or a dog or an animal. I mean, because they still got to have mommy to help them wipe their own behind. So let alone, that's like, you know, it is what it is. That's, you know, I mean, not to be funny. I don't believe in children having children. You know what I mean? You still wet behind it. You don't know nothing about life. You don't know. So therefore, why you messing with it? Now you don't got a college degree. You know how to make some money. You got a degree behind you. Okay. You go ahead, have you 3-4 more old kids over here. Even if you get divorced, you good. You got to figure it out. You know, if you got both parents, hey, you get the both of the best worlds. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm going way left with it, but you get what I'm saying, right? What somebody else's beginnings might not be for your beginning. So understanding that first and foremost. So I guess, you know, when it comes to this topic, look at yourself in the mirror and figure that out, because only you can answer you. You know what I mean? The old saying, mirror, mirror on the wall. You got to do that for yourself. Sorry. And understand, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Okay. So you got to understand also when it comes to outside of all that. Let me see in the chat right here. It took me 4 years into this hobby to get into SPS. Started off with LPS and softies. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You didn't even feel comfortable. So hey, you did what you had to do. Mixed reef tank reefers are the best. That ain't that easy. Well, why he say that? Because it's a balancing act. So understanding that for new beginners, just because you're good at SPS don't mean you're going to be good with SPS and softies. Why is that, Rico? Why would you say that? If I can grow sticks, then I can grow anything in the world. Oh, shit. Excuse me. That's not true, man. That's not true. You can't. You know what I mean? You might on some fluke or some luck, but understanding that it comes down to requirements. So corals for beginners also have to understand the care requirements for each counterpart, meaning each coral that you're going to throw in your aquarium. You have to understand that. What is good for this type of coral might not be good for this type of coral, but I want this type of coral. So what do I have to do? You got to up your pimp game. What do you mean by Rico upping your pimp game? You got to understand what she wants. See, she'll give you whatever you want, but you got to listen to her. Think about it as a woman. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm relating to her as a nice, fine bottle of wine. Okay? Most women like either dry or they like sweet, but can you get it in between? That's not too dry, but not too sweet, just right? It's a balancing act to do that, right? Well, that same balancing act has to be done into your aquarium. I want a, what that old saying? What's that old saying? I want a lady during the day and a freak in the sheets at night type situation. I want her to be clean and dirty. So I want her to be professional. So that's what I want in my aquarium, to be professional. I want her to understand she can be a little dirty at times too, and still get right, get on right. You like how I put that? It's Friday. Anyway, I'm just saying that's how you got to look at it. It's a balancing act, and because it's a balancing act, people have a hard time with that because a lot of people are OCD, or they're not OCD enough, or whatever the case may be. So for you guys coming across this, he said, "I like my stank." I'm good on that one. That's kind of where I got to draw the line, because I don't want to smell you through my whole house. I'm just saying. You like my analogy? Now, I'm just being honest. If you foul and you humming, I'm going to just be honest with you. That is the alarm that says back up, do not enter. I will burn you type stuff. I can't help how other people might enjoy that type of stuff. But for me, those are telltale signs that it's just not right. It's just not right. Stay away. Do not enter. I'm just saying. Okay. Damn it, I will bite you type stuff. Do not enter. You playing with some real fire over here. Okay. I don't want to walk in my house and smell my aquarium, because if I did, something wrong, something seriously wrong. We don't have a pH. We might be able to get some pH balance, but something wrong. You gotta get that fixed. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fix that problem. Anyway, it is what it is. It shouldn't be stinking. I don't care what it is. It shouldn't have that. You know, outside the natural aroma that occurs, hey, anything above the natural level, you have to get that fixed in your aquarium. You understand what I'm saying? I'm being for real. She shouldn't be funky, okay? I'm just being honest. She shouldn't be funky. A good balance of bacteria makes everybody happy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think we are old enough to know balance is key. Got to have the right amount of balance. Just saying. And sometimes you can get something new and the balance will be off because it ain't adjusted to the levels yet and what you putting in her. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to me. I'm a doctor at this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. Sometimes you get with something new. You get the new aquarium, right? And it's Friday, so we on one, right? So we get a new aquarium, get something strange for a little piece of change. You know, we doing our aquarium up tonight, right? And you wonder why shit, a little off. You done did your 1, 2, and it became a little off. You can round 2, round 3, 4, 5, 6. You kept throwing stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's normal. It's got to adjust. If you make it work and y'all together for a very long time, the aquarium is doing great. It will learn to balance it out. What you throwing in and what it already has in there, it'll learn to make that a good blend, and then you'll be good to go. Other than that, if it never goes away and you 6, 8, 10, 12 months in, you got to understand somebody else has been sticking their hand in your aquarium. It's time to warn you to just back on up, and you know what I'm saying? I'll just say y'all stupid, man. I'm being for real though. On the real note, think about it like that. All right. So then you just got your education for corals, putting in corals. All right. Anyway, so hopefully you guys are enjoying this talk. So corals for beginners reef tank. Okay. Now I know we're having fun this Friday, but on a serious note. Oh, hello, Kim. My tank is 2 years old. It's a mixed reef, and my first coral was a hammer. Still have it. There you go. So what am I trying to, Rico, what are you trying to tell everybody, with this topic? What I'm trying to say is it really boils down to who you are as a person. There are, we can get into NPS, non-photosynthetic tanks, okay? They're feeding. They don't get their food source from light or anything out there. They're from a very dark world. So if you're a very dark person and like it dark and you're into the darkness and stuff like that and just want to eat in the dark, maybe you might accelerate at a tank like that. I'm just saying. It's a very gloom, dark world for an NPS person from where those corals come from. Now there's a lot of life that goes on in the dark. I'm just not a dark person. You know what I mean? I'm just not into the darkness. I want to be like Poltergeist. Caroline, come to the light, Caroline. You know what I mean? I like to go to the light. But on a real note, I don't know if there's actually a right way to tell somebody top 10 beginner corals. I used to think about, yeah, maybe it is. But over time, I really looked at it like, uh, I look at, I'm talking about the tanks here, man. Come on, Jamar. I'm just talking about the tanks, man. Everybody, the tank, man. Um, uh, when it comes to my thoughts, it really came down to looking at individual people. We shouldn't judge anybody, right? And I'm not judging. And in no way, shape, or form was this topic about judging. It's about who we are as individuals, and who we are as individuals are going to be the exact representation of our aquarium. Just think about it, people. You ever had a friend in school that was like gothic, maybe? You didn't really mind what he was into or she was into, right? They wore, not to be funny. Frost was like that, okay? That he was into golf, you know what I mean? I know, what Frost Court? Yeah. He's my friend, and he grew out of it, whatever. But when you see, like, if I'm using that as a stereotype, because it's like, if you had a friend that's that day, you ever went to their house, for you it's not normal. You know what I mean? Because your normalcy is however you were raised in your household and with your parents. That's your normalcy. So I'm not going to get into what's normal, what's not normal. That's just what your normal is, right? They have all different kinds of stuff, like, I had some friends that, really into it, and skulls and, all kinds of stuff everywhere, right? You go to another friend's house up in the Hamptons or something, you walk in and it's like crystals and chandeliers that are so huge, just like, oh, what, you know what I mean? There's the difference. Do you think that somebody would have an aquarium that looked like it belonged in a house that was like in the Hamptons with chandeliers and crystal, hanging all over the place, in a gothic person's bedroom or house? No. Their aquarium's going to look like something like, who knows? Skulls all in the tank and, whatever. It doesn't belong in a Hampton type. I can almost assure you that. So for me, it was like, this is what I see. I see people for who they are through their tanks and what they are. You don't realize that you are who you are. People like to be a lot of things, okay, that they're actually not. But it shows. Your body just tells on yourself. Your actions tells on yourself. Everything tells on yourself. So just be the person you are. Now, if you want to pick your game up or set your game up, then you can do that too. And guess what? When you do that, that's going to show in your aquarium. See, everybody wants to grow. And the only way you grow is if you, in your aquarium game, is if you grow. How do you grow? How do I grow, Rico? Well, that's easy. Knowledge. Knowledge is power. Understanding. I'm tired of living this way, so I'm gonna make sure that my socks and my everything is folded. My shirts are pressed, hung. I'm not just gonna throw piles in the corner anymore. I'm tired of living like that. I want to change. I want to open the curtains, let some light in. I want to clean up. And by you doing that, you're gonna look at the last property and be like, "Well, I cleaned all this up. That looks like crap. I want that to look better." So you're going to go work on your aquarium. And that's how you're going to grow. I mean, that's how you get better. When you work on yourself, everything else around you gets better. Your aquarium husbandry, what your aquariums look like, all that. Okay. Anyway, look at their cooking stove. Cooking stoves, home. That unusual house their tank looks. Oh yeah. I guess what the stoves look like. Um, Yeah. Now I'm joining the military. I can agree with all that. Yeah. I mean, if their stove isn't clean, their tank ain't clean. I'm a big fan. I'm funny with dishes in a. I better not wake up with dishes in the sink in the morning. Like I don't like dishes in my sink in the morning. I don't like food laying around where you cooked on a stove. Like all that makes me it makes me mad. I ain't gonna lie. If y'all don't believe me, leave a comment to ask the wife if she come in here. She know I don't play. I don't like that stuff. But that's just me. Now, does it happen sometimes a little bit? Yeah, because the kids be cooking at it. They still don't know how to clean up after themselves like they should. Okay. And sometimes they clean up, but it ain't even to your liking. So you got to re-clean up with. But I'm not going to talk about parenting right now. We're talking about, corals. Corals for beginner tanks, right? Is that what we're talking about? So let's get back. Corals for beginners, reef tanks. Okay, so I understand y'all. This is already going all over the place a little bit, but it all comes back together, right? So when it comes to beginning corals, guess what? You already got the message. You know who you are as a person, and don't lie to yourself. Be real with yourself, and being real, then go ahead and go do you. You know what I mean? If you really lazy and don't want to really do nothing, as somebody said, Paulson Xenia is great. Yeah, it's a great coral. You know what I mean? He's going to run rabbit. He's going to go ahead and do his thing. Hey, listen, man, you can go ahead and be lazy and just lay back and eat all your jelly donuts and just watch the aquarium all day. You be good. You be good to go. If that's all you want or you're going to look forward to, you can do that too. Teens cooking and bringing down to glass. That's another thing, man. I tell mine, you can't. Don't take a cup. Don't take a cup out of the kitchen area. Don't. It better not be a cup, a bowl, nothing in your bedrooms. None of that. Oh Lord, that's the biggest thing. Caked up food. Like, do I look like I want some roaches or something? I don't get down with all that. Hey, I didn't grow up the best, and I'll be darned if I'm up here paying my bills and running my household. I'm gonna have all that. But anyway, yeah, you gotta look at yourself, be honest with yourself, and then go from there. You're capable of keeping anything as a beginner, long as you're real with yourself and who you are. You know how your husbandry is by your household. Who you are in your house. So think about it. Listen, let me tell you something. Don't be offended by it. Embrace it. We're all can change and we're all different. And we all was raised different. Some of us had strict parents that, man, listen, I don't care. I don't care what time it is. Your room gonna be straightened. Things are gonna be done. Your clothes gonna be out for the next day. You're gonna be starched, ironed. Oh yeah, I don't know if you got iron nowadays, but we had to iron our. And I don't know if you got military parents or not. You know what I mean? If you got military parents, I already know you gonna bounce a quarter off your bed for the most part, because I know how they ain't playing. Okay, it's all about how you was brought up, and there's nothing wrong with that. Can you change it? Yes, you can change anything you want in the world. You can change it. You can change how you reef, how your life is, and how you reap. So let's just go with that. I'm still loving everything about my leathers, toadstools, 4 years in my tank with 27 fish in there. Addicted forever, bro. There you go. Oh, jar shake and hang. There you go. So I think it's an easy topic. I mean, let me see. We can go over some other stuff too. Like the hardiness. You know, um, I was talking about the different tolerances and stuff with inside the aquarium. Those are things that you will still have to look out for. Fluctuations. I mean, does fluctuations happen in the ocean? Of course they do. They're more subtle. Do they happen? Of course they happen. And they're subtle. So you don't have to worry about killing your tank because your tank fluctuate 0.5 degrees. I have to make sure you guys understand that, because I know you might hear that type of stuff somewhere else, and all I can do is just tell you to run. Run, Linda, listen, Linda, run. So I had to throw that out there, that type of fluctuation we're not talking about. We're talking about very big fluctuations and stuff like that. Very big spikes, very quickly, things happening. And that's why we tell you when something quickly happens one way, we don't shock it back the other way, because it's just going to make the things a lot worse than what it is, or what it's going to be. So, far as salinity and stuff, if you're doing water changes and stuff like that, your salinity should really never change. Your salinity should stay the same, between water changes. If you're doing weekly water changes or every 2 weeks or whatever the case may be, you shouldn't have to worry about that at all. Torches, yeah. How what type of corals do you have? Can you feed them? Is it easy feed? Is it broadcast feed? Just for me, just understanding your nutrients in your aquarium and you'll be fine. Do corals benefit from feeding? I would have to say yes, just due to the fact they have moving parts to be able to physically take in food. And if that's, if you know that, then obviously particulates in actual feeding should be beneficial as well. What I'm trying to say is understanding your nutrient balance. Then if you do understand that and understand, if you just keep things within a nice balance, you shouldn't really have to spot feed the corals, the food that you normally feed in your aquarium, to the fish or whatever, in the waste that they produce. Understand there's the food source. Nitrates, phosphates, all that. The nutrients is there, okay? Water change is going to replace your trace elements and minerals, which really, honestly, if you're doing weekly water changes, how much, even if you did it once a month, how much fluctuation do you think you really got? Like it's really swinging. Let's be real. I understand not everybody understands that. But if you're basically doing your water changes like you should, you doing what I'm telling you you're doing, you're really just setting the tone for success. It's that simple. You're creating stability, okay, in your aquarium. Consistency, stability. These are the key elements of just keeping a reef tank, regardless of your SPS or whatever you want. I almost would think I'm crazy. What are we talking about here? But don't, depending on what food is, it's all down to a science, I think sometimes, but that's just my opinion. I do water changes every 2 months, blah, blah, blah. I understand that 100%. I would smoke think I'm crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Are your corals peaceful? What do you have? Do you got nymphs walking around your aquarium? Do you think that they're going to be peaceful and not kill anything? Obviously, if they're moving, they're touching other things, they can potentially sting and kill other things in their way. Making sure when introducing corals, maybe acclimating, understanding where they come from. Understanding where they come from, like me, that depends on if I'm acclimating or not. I understand what salt they're using. I understand I've tested their water. I know what they're doing with their water, how they're running, if they're running any kind of chemicals in their water or anything like that. I know where it's coming from. I will pop and drop, what I'm saying, my corals, my fish, whatever, because we're kind of on the same page. So as far as acclimation, whatever. Now, as far as acclimation, like, maybe floating the bags for a little bit just because of the ride home and the temperature is going to swing and whatever, and getting it back up to the temperature, then cool too. That's what I'll do, acclimation. But understanding these things, you should be acclimating so you're not creating shock and all this other stuff to your corals. Understanding that. growth, understanding the growth of these corals. Some people don't understand that not all corals grow the same. Some will grow a lot faster than others. Hollywood stunner chalices will outgrow probably any other chalice known to man. I'm being dead serious. If I'm lying, can somebody please correct me then? Or should I say, if I'm misinformed or whatever, can somebody correct me then? But me personally, Hollywood stunner chalice, boy, ooh-wee. They grow really quick, really fast than any other chalice that I've ever seen. And I've had quite a few different chalices, and I'll tell you hands down, that thing puts on eyes and size like it's nobody's business. Um, understand that, how something grows or the growth pattern, how fast it might grow versus how slow. You need to understand these things, for a beginner, So basically do your research on that coral. Find out what the growth rate is normally for that coral, something like that, on what you're going to get. And also that depends on your water quality and stuff like that. But some things don't care for the most part. I think you can grow Hollywood stunner in the middle of winter with a sheet of ice over top in the sun beaming on it doing its job. Also understanding choosing healthy corals. Now, some of us will go against the grain. We'll buy a lot of corals that are going to be cheap. They're suffering. They're having issues, and you try to save it. Understand whatever that coral it might be going through, that you can introduce that stuff to your aquarium, and that could be a potential problem. For a beginner, you need to understand, I suggest you look for, you want a deal, look for deals, but look for healthy coral deals, okay? 1 to 2 hours. Okay. So, as far as quarantine, I'm going to talk about that on another topic, maybe quarantine. Okay. At some point, buying, should you, well, for beginners, should people be buying, aquaculture corals as a beginner? Anybody in the chat? Would you recommend them doing that as a beginner? That could be probably a debatable topic, wouldn't you say? And same with the fish. Tom mentioned something about fish, and I don't know exactly what it was for the next topic, but yeah, would you guys recommend that for a beginner? That's a good question. I know as far as growth, I don't think they grow that fast. Corals, agriculture. Yeah, no. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably have to say, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it just depends when you're going to get to be fraggable, should I say? I don't know. Aquaculture, agriculture. Um, those are the thing. Maybe I should do a topic about that. Captive bred fish versus wild. That's what it was. Captive bred versus wild. Aquaculture, corals. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Dealing with, well, yeah, I think I'll wait for the next episode of that, talk about that. I don't even want to put that out there. But anyway, that's a good topic. Captive bred. I don't even know where my stuff is. Personal preference. Reefaholic says. Yeah, I don't know. Pest prevention and control. All right. That's being the next. Okay. So we got 2 topics to talk about. Let me see something. As long as y'all gonna be in here, let's all share these topics. Let's see. Let me get a little screenshot because I know you guys ain't. All right. So I know what the next topic. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know what else I can really honestly say for beginners. If you're going to come across this video, take it for what it is, man. I guess let me just highlight once again. Take this video for what it is. I like to joke. We like to have fun. We like to be silly sometimes. And I like to have some certain type of analogies to explain some things. Now, I can't help if you can't read between the lines on those or not, but at the same time, it's quite funny if you just listen. At the end of the day, when it comes to these things, I want you to understand these things are my personal opinion. This is obviously my house, my channel, and it's my personal opinion. Okay. What I am trying to do is lay down a foundation for you to be able to have some real education, some real knowledge. But once again, it's an opinion. Okay. How I look or analyze things and put things in perspective for it to make sense for me, you just might not get it. And understanding that is fine, okay? We're all different in this world, right? So with that being said, I want you to take this for what it is. These videos, every one of my videos for what they are. And they are what they are. They're here to help you if you're willing to listen. If you're willing to listen and accept what I have to say, then hey, so be it. If you don't want to accept, there's other channels out here for you. Obviously, right? That's the whole power of social media and different platforms for different people. Everybody has their own agenda. I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, I just try to make it simple and easy for you to understand. Remember, who you are as a person is a direct representation of what your tank's going to look like. And that's just it. It's nothing personal. It is what it is. And that's just that. So hopefully you understand that there's not a lot to this. It's really based off of you and who you are, not who I am. It's who you are. Can you be the next awesome reefer? Of course you can. It's up to you. So another topic, having another hobby while reefing. Oh my God. Listen, Tom, man. Y'all gotta put this in the chat. I'm over here screenshot just so I can get to the next topic. Y'all gotta leave this stuff in the comment section when I drop this video. So actually, I'm about to get ready and drop this video. I'm about to go ahead and edit it. Give me about within 10 minutes, and I'll get back to you guys for the next video, next live stream. Okay, this is Friday, so hopefully it's Friday night with Rico's Aquariums and videos, live videos. If you're new watching this, sorry, but you can always become a subscriber. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to become maybe a member of this channel. It's greatly appreciated. It helps me. I'm helping you. We all get along. It is what it is. And don't forget to sign up if you ain't already signed up to saltwateraquarium.com, which the link is in the description of all my videos. Get your 5% for life. So you're getting something there again. And keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Keep it moving. Keep it reefing. All right. So yeah, when you having a nice drink on a Friday night, all kinds of stuff come out. No. All right, guys. So thanks everyone for coming in. Give me about within 10 minutes. I'll be back to you guys with another live stream and another topic. See you soon.